Genshai Warriors, we know the importance of this word, to never treat anyone in a manner that would make them feel small, including yourself. And one of the most important things that I know, being an entrepreneur, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, is the culture creation. What do you create in the company that you're a part of, a company that you start? And I'm here with a dear friend, Demarr, who has helped numerous companies go big and build an incredible culture within their company and a company that you're doing now yourself. Demarr, I wanted to interview you and talk about how important the culture is to create within the company, just to make sure that the right premise and the right feeling, heart is put into it, and that's what we're doing with Genshai.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
You're emulating that in your company, so if you'd share, what is the importance of the culture that you're creating?
Well, culture is probably the fundamental, the glue that holds a company together.
Exactly.
And without culture, literally, a company can fall apart. And culture is like, it's funny because it's like if you don't have culture, you really don't have loyalty.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is missing in society today. It's missing in companies today, is the loyalty to each other in business and families and everything. Culture is not just about business, but in everything that we do. And so you build cultures, and when you build the culture, then you attract people, and they attract you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of those things. I'm fascinated with culture. I just think it's a phenomenal thing that most people don't focus on nowadays.
And you do a really good job at creating, even the smallest things, like you said earlier. It's the small things that make the difference.
Well, I've always said that the big money is in the little money in business.
Mm-hmm.
The big results come from little things.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of quotes about that, but
Yeah.
the reality is that if you can make people feel this good. I love a lady named Mary Kay. You ever heard of her? Mary Kay Ash?
She's got a
Yeah.
pretty decent sized company.
Well, she has a quote that I absolutely love, and she says, everybody has an invisible sign that hangs around their neck that says, "Make me feel important."
Mm.
And if you think about that, her business was all about culture,
Yeah.
creating the importance in people, makeup and all that kind of stuff. It was about making people feel good.
Yeah.
But when you make people feel good, that is, and you build a culture around that, you can't not win.
Yeah. And then you said the attraction, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like the law of attraction, which we're talking about, which I see as the law of love. And it's that little thing, like, I appreciate you, you appreciate me, but tell it. Tell the people. Be vocal. Don't just think it, we need to share it, right?
Well, yeah, you need to build a culture of making people feel good about themselves. And here, the fundamental need of every single human being on the planet is the need to feel important.
Yeah.
So if I can make you feel important, and I do something, that let's say I send you a gift, or I send you something, or I say thank you. It's called the law of reciprocity.
Exactly.
As well. And if I can build that culture where I make everybody around me feel good,
Mm-hmm.
then what happens is they respond back with wanting to make me feel good,
Yeah.
and then it creates an addiction.
Yeah.
And now I want to make you feel good again, and then you want to make me feel good again, and that's what Genshai is all about.
Exactly.
And that's the culture behind the fundamental need of every individual. And to me, it's just fascinating. You can be anywhere and you start talking to someone, it doesn't matter how down they are.
Yeah.
If you build a culture around that person and say, "Hey, listen, you look good today.
Yeah.
You're looking really sharp." You can by creating that culture, you can actually turn somebody who's sick
Mm-hmm.
and make them feel like they're not sick anymore. And it's you were interviewing Chantel, and you were talking that in the rest homes that you go to and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's the same thing. You start making people feel good,
Yeah.
and you build that culture, it becomes something that's contagious.
And the key with the culture too is just create a culture of love.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, that's ultimately what we're after.
Exactly.
Make people feel loved.
Yeah.
And honor them.
Not just pretend, but actually
Be authentic.
Yeah, authentic
Yeah.
about it. And that's what I learned. I mean, I wasn't always that way.
Well,
and it's been since the last 18 years that I've really understood the value of building a culture around an idea that is phenomenal. Making people feeling good about yourself and then making other people feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
And it can change the world.
And you were saying earlier, one of the key things is just to give it with no expectation in return,
Exactly.
right? That's the purest form.
Exactly. So if I have no expectations and I give you something,
Yeah.
and it's fun to do,
It
by
is.
the way, it's really fun.
Absolutely.
You do that with something, they're going, how come you did that? Because I can.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And because I want to.
And watch their whole attitude.
Oh.
They stand up straight. They're
Oh,
still good.
it's fun. If you start treating people like you want to be treated, I got to tell you a story. Can I tell you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I was in the timeshare industry in a resort down in New Mexico, and there was a lady there that was over the rentals of the hotel there.
Yeah.
And I would put people in the hotels to go and see a tour of the facility. And she would give me a hard time. Her name was Amy. I don't need to tell you her last name, but
Yeah.
she would give me a hard time every time.
Yeah.
So I decided to collect everybody in the whole resort's birthday, and I started sending birthday cards out.
Nice.
And she came up, and I didn't want to send her a birthday card because she was such an honorary person
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I better do it. I sent her a birthday card, and she came into my office. She threw that birthday card down on the counter. She says, "Why'd you do that?"
Hmm.
And I says, "Well, because it's your birthday."
Yeah.
And she goes, "That was the nicest thing anybody's ever done to me since I've been here." And she kind of teared up a little bit, but she didn't want me to know that. She walks
Yeah.
off. She treated me like gold
Oh, wow.
after that. And that's the power of creating a culture of being
Yeah.
kind and generous and thoughtful, even when people aren't doing it back.
Agreed. And circling back, creating that glue in the company, even your family and everything.
Oh, yeah.
The culture is so important on tying everything together with the bounds of love, right? I mean, that's really the key. And that's what we're doing. We're doing some of this together.
Oh, yeah.
We have amazing things on the horizon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're
I'm
gonna go
excited to be a
forward with
part of
thing.
this.
Yeah, and thank you for being such an integral part
Oh,
of
wow.
Genshai and what you're doing to create that culture in the
Well,
industry that you're in.
we're going to have fun doing this,
Yeah.
and we're going to change the world.
Yeah, amen, amen. So come with us, Genshai Warriors. More to come. And this is just our first interview. We're going to show how the culture has transformed the people around us, the companies that we're a part of. And we'd love to share our culture with you. So come along with us. Thanks, Demarr.
You bet.
And just amazing things to come. And I honor you, brother.
All right, same here.
We're going to do this.
You bet.
Thank you. Okay.